everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing episode number 3 in the Great Cookie series that I have started. It has been a couple weeks since I have made a video like this, but let's just go ahead and jump right on in. So today we are making moist chocolate cookies with cocoa powder. I was looking for like a brownie cookie type recipe, and all the ones that I was finding on Pinterest were requiring baker's chocolate, which I don't usually have on hand. So it was a struggle for me to find those. I was wanting a cookie with the texture of a brownie, but in a cookie form. That's what I was going for. So we'll see how these turn out and if these meet that standard for me. So yeah, I will link the recipe down in the description box below. And let's get you turned around so you can see what we need for this recipe. I will be doing this in my KitchenAid. The recipe just says to stir everything in a bowl. I like my KitchenAid, so I'm going to use that. So yeah, let me get you turned around and we'll look at the ingredients together. Okay, so for this recipe, we will need a cup of all-purpose flour. I like to buy my flour at Costco, so I buy it in bulk and then I put it in these containers. I will see if I can find this container on Amazon and link it down below. That is where I purchased it from. And then we will need half a cup of cocoa powder, some baking soda. I buy this big 13.5-pound bag of baking soda at Costco. And then we need, the recipe calls for unsalted butter, but I always use salted butter. It says half a cup and a cup, half a cup and a third a cup. So here's my little third a cup of butter and my half a cup, and this has been sitting out all morning softening. And then it says, oh wait, so I totally read the recipe wrong. It's 2/3 a cup of butter. That's okay, I'll just cut this one. But it's half a cup and a third a cup of granulated sugar. Again, buy it at Costco, put it in this container. This is just a Snapware container. This was a Christmas gift, and I've been meaning to replace this one because it's all melted. I don't know if you can really see, but the container was next to the stove and it melted one time. So I need to replace that one at some point. Then we need vanilla and an egg. And the egg too has been sitting out, so it's at room temperature. The recipe doesn't say that, but I like to do that when I'm baking. I don't know. I was always told you let your eggs sit out at room temperature with your butter. So that's what I do. And I thought we needed brown sugar, but I guess not. So I will just go ahead and put this one away. And just double check since I've already read the recipe wrong. So yeah, flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, butter, granulated sugar, pure vanilla extract, and an egg. If you just heard, my oven just beeped. I have it preheated to 350 degrees. And you also need a baking sheet with parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. I definitely prefer the silicone baking mat, but I do a lot of baking, so it's more cost effective that way. I will try and find some on Amazon and link them down below. The ones I have were a gift for Christmas one year. So let's head on over to my mixer and we'll get started with these cookies. Okay, so what the recipe says to do is put the flour, cocoa powder, and baking soda in a small bowl, mix well, and set aside. So that's what we're going to do. So I've got my little 1 cup measuring cup here. And so we need 1 cup of all-purpose flour. So let's go ahead and get that. You always want to level it off. We're just going to put that in the bowl. And then grab our cocoa powder And it says we need half a cup. So my little half cup measure. Oh, that's not gonna fit. Okay. I'm gonna get my little quarter cup measuring cup out. I will try and find some similar to these and link them down below in case you're interested. I really like these collapsible silicone ones. Okay, half a cup of that. I'm gonna set that aside. And then the baking soda, it says we need half a teaspoon, but in all honesty, I'm just gonna grab like a pinch of it and just kind of pinch it in there. Oops. I kind of usually eyeball baking soda, so it works for me. I'm gonna use a little whisk to get that mixed up. You might hear kids in the background. We do have 4 of them, so it is always chaotic in our house. Okay, that looks nice and mixed up, so we will set that aside. And then it says to melt the butter in a small pan over medium heat until halfway melted. So I really don't want to dirty a saucepan, and this is really soft anyway, so it's not going to take long. So I'm just going to pop it in the microwave. Okay, looking for a sharper knife because this is super soft, so it's going to be harder to cut, but just cutting it at the 2/3 mark on the butter here. Okay, I'm just plopping that in a mug. I'm going to pop this into the microwave, and it says to melt it until it's almost melted, and then you stir it until it's completely melted. So I just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. I probably won't even let it go for 30 seconds. Okay. Let's see. I did accidentally let that go for the full 30 seconds. But there is our butter. It is all melted. That's okay. Okay, I'm going to move you over onto my mixer and we will get everything going. Just wanting that to cool down just a little bit. Okay, let's get over to my mixer. Okay, so to the mixer, I am going to add my 1/3 cup of sugar and my 1/2 cup of sugar. Okay, and then let's see, what does it say to do? And add the butter and mix well. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour this right on in. And we're gonna set this mug aside. And we're gonna just mix. I don't want to turn it on too high at first because I don't want the butter to splash out. And that looks pretty well mixed to me. There we go. That's what it looks like right now. Keep in mind that's just butter and sugar at the moment. And then I'm going to add the egg. And let me wipe my hands off. Okay, the egg is in. And then I am also going to add the vanilla. I don't generally measure vanilla. I like vanilla, so I don't see a need to measure it. And We're just going to mix until that egg is blended in. And that's what we've got so far. Okay. And then we are going to add in our flour mixture. The recipe does say to do this in 2 batches. So I'm going to lift this up, just make it a little bit easier. Just kind of eyeball it and do about half. And then let me lift you up again so you can see this mix. Oh boy. I turned that on too high. I did not think the second notch would be too high, but it was. That's okay. So this is definitely starting to look like a brownie mixture, which, since I wanted a brownie cookie, makes sense. So hopefully this turns out the way I would like it to. Okay, we're just going to turn it off and lift this up again. And then I'm going to add the rest of my flour mixture. Okay, I spilled some on the counter, and my counters are clean, so I'm just gonna put it back in there. Sorry, the lighting in the bowl is not the greatest. Okay. So the recipe says to roll the dough into balls. This does not look like anything. Yeah, that I won't be able to roll that into a ball. So I'm going to take just a little bit more flour. I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit more in there. And see if that helps the consistency at all. I don't want to have too much flour, so if this doesn't work, I will just kind of scoop it out with a cookie scoop and put it on the baking sheet, and we will see what it does. Let me see. Okay, that looks a little bit more dough-like now. Still super. I think I'm just gonna scoop it out into balls onto the cookie sheet and bake it that way. Because I don't want to add too much flour and have it taste like flour. So I'm gonna get out my cookie sheet and a silicone baking mat, and we will put these on baking mats. Okay, and we're back at I'm at the stove with my cookie sheets. They're just sheet pans, and these are my mats. I'll have something equivalent to everything I'm using linked down in my description box below that you can order off of Amazon if you don't have any of this stuff. This is just a little cookie scoop. I think I got this one at Target, but again, I'll find something equivalent and link it down below. So what I'm going to do is just scoop some of that dough. We'll do a little bit more. Just scoop some of that dough into there and place it. Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to roll this cookie dough at all. I do have 2 pans because I'm not sure how many cookies this is going to make. But it really does kind of look like little brownies. Just super thick batter. So I don't know, maybe these are going to turn out the way I want them. We shall see. Them just a little bit more. I'm going to space them just a little bit more. Sorry, I kind of mumbled that under my breath. Yeah, These are looking good. I usually do 3 rows of 4 whenever I bake cookies. That seems to be a good number for these trays. I think I am definitely glad I added that little tiny bit of extra flour. I do think that made all the difference in the consistency of the cookies and made it more of a dough rather than a batter. It's still kind of in between a cookie dough and a batter in texture. So I'm just gonna move these. Don't those look delicious? Oh. Just gonna move these here. So I have the new tray. Looks like this is going to make a little less than 24 cookies. So this batter did not make very much. If you need more than just a few cookies, I would definitely double this recipe. I'm going to see if I can scrape the sides of the bowl a little bit more. Sorry if that metal on metal noise bothers you. But I just want to get as much as I can out. Okay, we were able to scrape together one more cookie. So this made about 20 cookies. So yeah, it doesn't make very many cookies at all. So if you need more than that, you definitely want to double it. I don't need very many cookies personally, just because we are trying to lose weight and trying to eat healthier. So I'm trying not to eat very many cookies, because usually if there's cookies in the house, they don't last very long. And I'm trying to do better about that and not eat so many cookies and so much junk food. But I love to bake, so I'm still gonna bake cookies. It's just the way it is. So a recipe with just a few cookies is perfect for us. Now we are going to bake these for 8 to 11 minutes or until slightly set. It says the top of the cookies shouldn't be wet but soft. They will be soft to handle. Remove the cookies from the oven so they can keep their moistness. Let them cool on the baking sheet for 10 minutes or until the bottom of the cookies are firm enough. The cookies will be a little bit puffy. Okay, so this recipe, it sounds like it's very important not to overcook them or they will dry out. So I'm going to set the timer, I think, for 9.5 minutes. I usually, when I bake, I like to try and go right in the middle of the time frame that they're suggesting you bake it for. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in the oven, set a timer, and we'll bring you back when I pull. And there we are. Some beautiful looking cookies. They are still, whoa. Let's not knock over the tripod. They are still pretty soft on the top, so I'm going to leave them sit for about 10 minutes. Oh yeah, don't ever, oven safety. Don't grab stuff out of the oven without an oven mitt. Or hot pans without an oven mitt. Since I was just holding up a hot pan, I figured I'd throw that in there. But yeah, they look delicious. They smell delicious. They do almost look like a brownie on the top, so I'm kind of excited about that, because that's, again, that's what I was going for, is a brownie in cookie form. So I will be excited to try these out. My kids want to do a taste test again, so you will get to see them here in a few minutes. Well, for you it'll be like a second. For me it'll be a few minutes. But you'll get to see them try these cookies. Yeah, see? Oh. See how it's like you can't grab them yet? So they've got to set up. So I'm going to let these set. I've already turned the oven off. Yeah, I'm just going to let these set, and then we will be back for a taste test. There's some better lighting over them.
It smells yummy.
Okay, we'll see you back here in a few. Okay, and we're back for the taste test.
It's my cookie.
What do you think?
10.
Do they taste like a brownie?
Mm-hmm.
Are they good?
Mm-hmm. Like,
Are they nice and soft?
like, you can tell they're soft, like, by how they're bending.
Here we have it. I think we've got approval from these three.
Is it good, Dookie?
Get them all in there.
Can you make these again?
Yeah, I'm sure I can. Okay. That's it for the taste test. There we have it. I think the recipe was called moist double chocolate chip, or moist cookie what was it? Moist cocoa powder chocolate cookies. They were pretty good. I tried a little bit of one myself. They did kind of taste like a brownie in cookie form, so that's what I was going for. So I was happy they turned out that way. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll see you for more. See you back here for more. I do plan on doing more of these cookie series. I've been scouring Pinterest for for recipes that I want to try. And if you have any ideas that you would like to see on here, go ahead and leave a comment down below with a recipe that you want to see on here. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.